Good evening. I wish to call the Lee County Board of Commissioners to order on the 6th of January of 2025. I trust everyone will start getting used to 2025 when you fill out your dates. Without that further ado, please stand for the invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Lord, we pray for our country. We pray for those in authority. Please guide our senators and representatives, our town, city, county, state, and national leaders. Lord, we pray for leaders to have your wisdom in all matters. We pray for our president to have discernment, to have the energy to do this difficult job, and to be a person who seeks your will, not only in his life, but in national matters. God, please heal our land from the chaos and division, and please help every leader to seek your face. In Jesus' name, yes. I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You have your agenda in front of you, and I just need to note that we need to remove item 8 from closed sessions. We'll have no closed sessions this evening. Do I have any other changes to the agenda or additional items? Seeing that there are none, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended? Motion's been made to approve the agenda as amended. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have the consent agenda in front of you. Are there any questions on the consent agenda?
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Motion's been made to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Seeing there are none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We do have public comments this evening, and I do have Emily York. If you'd come forward, please. But Emily, you do have Deborah Godfrey on here. Are there two people that wish to speak? Okay, that'd be fine. Okay, not a problem. Just please come by and come on up and introduce yourself as your full name and address for both of you, please. So, whoever's first.
Hi, my name is Emily York. I live at 315 North Steel Street, Sanford, North Carolina, 27330.
I'm Deborah Godfrey. I live at 3350 South Plank Road, Sanford, and I'm here in solidarity with Emily.
Thank you for hearing what we have to say tonight. We decided voices plural is always better than just one voice, so, and I'm very nervous, and so she's here to help me with that. Recently, we had someone come around to each of us. I am a classified employee at Eastleigh Middle School, and I'm here representing the classified employees. Recently there was a pay increase, or a suggested pay increase, and I just wanted to read this part of the paper that was signed. The proposed full hourly rate above reflects the proposed plan if it were to be fully funded. Currently, the district is implementing the plan on a partial basis. Employees should be aware that the full hourly rate shown above will not apply unless and until the plan is fully funded. Now, my question is that where you come in as far as the funding goes, to make sure that this is fully funded for everyone? Or is there something that I'm missing? My son is 16 years old. He was born in 2008. There was a pay freeze from 2008 until just recently as far as certified employees go. If I'm correct, that was only Lee County in the entire state. And in my mind, this was either a huge oversight, or it was somehow intentional. I hope that it wasn't the latter, that we weren't just forgotten. Now, I've only been doing this for 2 years, but I have many friends, many coworkers who have been doing this the majority of their lifetime. I talked to someone today who's worked for 30 years, and so about half of that time, they've been stagnant with their pay. This is important. We're not going away. And even though there's only 2 voices today, give us a little time, and maybe you will have to hear our voices in a way that you can't ignore. But this is not just something you can shy away from. We teach our students to be accountable. So we expect you to be accountable as well. Make this a priority, because it's been more than a decade that classified employees have not been the priority. It's very clear to us. We appreciate what's been moving forward, but this is something that needs to be discussed. We know that you're going to be having conversations about the budget. Please keep us in mind. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm going to chair. A question.
Yes, sir.
Chair. Was she reading from a document that we're supposed to have, and I certainly don't have anything.
I'm not, it's not a document, it's been a request that the classified staff has appeared before the Board of Education as well as, would you like to give that to the clerk so she can make copies for everyone?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I said. If there's
Okay.
a copy here, I'll be
Yeah,
happy to make.
that would help us a lot.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
She's right over here.
Haley will take that and make copies for everybody. It's not normally our process to address public comments when they come before the board, but in this situation, the last time, we were at the Civic Center, and we had quite a large crowd there, if we recall. And unfortunately, they didn't stay for commissioner comments. So if the 2 of you would stay after commissioner comments, for commissioner comments, we can address some of those, and then at least put the staff on task as well. That being said, thank you. Okay, I didn't check Lee County's Youth Council member, Alana Terwilliger. Is she here? Alana, come on up front, please. Share with us, introduce yourself, tell us who you are, where you're from, and she is one of our Youth Council members, and she is a junior at Lee Early College.
Yes. My name is Alana Twilliger. As you said, I'm a junior at Lee Early College. I'm from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and I think it's great to come and listen to the meeting.
We appreciate you being here, Anna, and you're taking notes for everybody, right?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under old business, we do have the first item on the agenda for old business is the planning board recommendations for zoning map amendment. Amy McNeil, thank you.
Good evening. This information is on pages 43 through 52 of your agenda packet. And I'll pause at this time to allow Chairman Smith to pose the question regarding conflict of interest.
A governing board member shall not vote on any legislative decision regarding a development regulation adopted pursuant to Chapter 160D, where the outcome of the matter being considered is reasonably likely to have a direct, substantial, and readily identifiable financial impact on the member. A governing board member shall not vote on any zoning amendment if the landowner of the property subject to a rezoning petition or the applicant for a text amendment is a person with whom the member has a close familial business, or other associational relationship. Does any board member have a conflict? Seeing none, we will continue. Thank you.
The planning board met on December 16th after the public hearing was held and recommended by a 4-to-1 vote that the commissioners approve the request to rezone 5 adjoining tracts of land totaling 14.6 acres with frontage on or access from Deep River Road from residential agricultural to light industrial. The motion to approve included that the request is reasonable given the location of the site on Deep River Road opposite a quarry, adjacent to a lot zoned highway commercial and near U.S. Highway 1, and that the planned Sand Lee land use plan designation of countryside does not appear to be appropriate for this property. The rationale provided for the one dissenting vote was that this area is more appropriate for rural land uses such as residential and agricultural, as noted by the countryside designation in the planned Sand Lee. In making this recommendation, the board acknowledged that the proposed zoning map amendment is not consistent with the planned Sand Lee land use designation of countryside because it does not include industrial zoning or industrial land uses. Topics of conversation or discussion included the following. The large truck traffic is generated by the existing quarry. The quarry traffic mainly goes from the quarry to U.S. Highway 1 and not through the residential area. The quarry is the only active business in the area and all other uses are residential. They discussed what a flex industrial building is, that the light industrial is the second most intensive land use and allows many types of industrial uses. The only use on the south side of Deep River Road between this site and U.S. Highway 1 is the former trucking company that is zoned commercial, that the location has reasonable access to U.S. Highway 1, that there was only one area resident who spoke in opposition. Given the existing quarry and traffic generated, this location across the road from the quarry is not really countryside, and that this appears to be a good location for commercial or industrial development, and that the planned Sand Lee designation of countryside is wrong for this site. As a reminder, the commissioners should make 2 votes regarding this matter. Sample motions are provided for your reference, and commissioners are always welcome to draft a unique motion if preferred. Also, the commissioners may acknowledge that the zoning map amendment is not consistent with the planned Sand Lee long-range plan and still vote to approve the request. Are there any questions?
Questions for Amy, please? Commissioner Sharp? Commissioner Reeves?
I've just got one, and between walking in here and that cold weather, it froze in my head, and I don't know what it was, but it dealt with signs 100 feet from a residential area.
We're not on the
That's the
sign,
next
sir.
item.
That's the next item.
All right, I'm sorry. But now you know, I'm looking for that.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Vorbeck?
No, my only concern was the traffic. That was the one thing that the lady had spoken out about, but you addressed that already. I know the planning
Yes,
board
ma'am.
talked about it with the traffic. So, and then remind me, the 3 lots that were to the right of it that were residential, they were still going to maintain those as residential lots, right?
No, ma'am. Wakestone Properties have purchased those lots.
That's what it was.
And they were included as part of this rezoning request.
Okay, just wanted to double check. Okay, no other questions, thank you.
Commissioner Lovick?
I have no questions, thank you.
I have no questions.
Commissioner
Yes.
Martin?
No questions.
No questions? Okay. You have before you the potential motions as well as the, for vote 1 and vote number 2. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion made to approve. We have to confirm that it either stands with Plan San Lee as it relates to rezoning. So you have,
I was looking for the motion.
should be on page 2. As the planning board stated, it's not,
I believe it's on page 45 of your agenda packet.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
as the planning board did state, it is not consistent with Plan San Lee
Right.
use designation. Is that motion option number 2?
That's correct.
All right, the motion's been made that the proposed zoning map amendment is not consistent with the Planned San Lee land use designation of countryside because it does not include industrial zoning or industrial land uses. Any further discussion? All those in favor of motion option number 2, please state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Then the second one is to approve or deny the rezoning request.
Yeah,
And was that your motion to approve, sir?
that's correct. Motion 1.
Motion's-
Option 1.
Motion's been made to approve the proposed zoning map amendment from residential agricultural to light industrial because it is reasonably given to the location of the site on Deep River Road, opposite a quarry, adjacent to a lot zoned highway commercial and near US Highway 1. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Moving on to the UDO text amendment request. Thomas?
Hello and good evening, and Happy New Year, everyone. Good evening, Commissioners, staff, and citizens. This information is going to be found in your agenda packet on page 53. Mr. Warren Stansel, who represents Interstate Outdoor Incorporated, has submitted a text amendment application to propose some changes to section 11.9.2 of the UDO regarding outdoor advertising signs, commonly known as billboards. For a quick overview, and I'm sorry, this doesn't quite align with the PowerPoint, but if you want to just flip to the next slide. So, for a quick overview, as it currently stands, 11.9.2 indicates that reads that outdoor advertising signs are permitted only in highway commercial, light industrial, and heavy industrial zoning districts. And my apologies, there is a PowerPoint printout at your desk too if you want to flip through as well. Outdoor signs must be located at least 100 feet away from any residential zoning district. A minimum 1,000-foot radius is required between any 2 billboards. The dimensions of a billboard are limited to 300 square feet in area. That's the total size of the billboard, and 35 feet in height. And lastly, only 1 billboard or sign per structure. Mr. Stansel's proposed amendments to this section of the UDO include the following. And the changes are illustrated in red, both on the screen and on the next page of the PowerPoint, or excuse me, this page, I'm sorry. So, that works too, that's fine. So, Mr. Stansel's proposed text amendment includes the removal of 11.9.2.2, which requires that 100-foot distance between any outdoor advertising sign and any residential zoning district. A modification of 11.9.2.3 to have the minimum distance between any 2 billboards be 1,000 feet as measured along the same street, not the same radius. And sir, if you could flip to the next slide, and if you would like to turn to the next page, that's just a good illustration of the change in the interpretation. You have a radius, which is a circle, and then the change would be to measure the distance between billboards along the same route, right? And then Mr. Stansel's additional text amendment proposals include the new language for several new subsections to this portion of the UDO. One being, quote, changeable copy shall be allowed on new outdoor advertising signs so long as they use what the outdoor advertising industry calls sightline light direct, which is technology that limits the amount of light that is transmitted outside of the main traveled way in which the outdoor advertising is intended to be read from. The second proposed new language bullet point or section would be outdoor advertising signs with electronic or digital changeable copy shall be separated by a minimum 2 miles as measured along the same right-of-way. And lastly, all new outdoor advertising signs must be of steel monopole design. The only proposed amendment for which visual rendering would be helpful is the one that's on the screen right now and the one that you can kind of see there. And I just wanted to show the difference in what would be the staff interpretation if that was proposed. On page 61 of your packet, I researched how some other neighboring counties regulate outdoor advertising signs and provided a summary for your reference, and they're broken down by county. I just did all the adjoining counties, and I believe, I can't remember now, but probably Durham and Wake County, I believe, as well. Almost all counties that I looked into had stricter standards than Lee County's current language, with the exception of Randolph County. And if you look in your packet, on that summary, anything in red is what I deem to be more restrictive, either a greater distance or more of a process. Like some counties require a special use permit for a new billboard to be built. So almost all counties that I looked into have stricter standards, with the exception of Randolph County. Chatham County appears to be moving towards prohibiting any new billboards, according to the draft of their working draft UDO that they're proposing, that they're working on. Moore County requires a special use permit for billboards, and that they be at least 200 feet away from residentially zoned property. Wake County requires a 2,500 square foot radius between billboards. The Lee County Planning Board met on December 16th and reviewed the proposed text amendment by Mr. Stansel. Topics of discussion among the board members included concern about prospective billboards' proximity to residential properties, the possibility that billboards may impact the rural and natural character of Lee County, the possibility of billboards causing visual blight in the county. Lee County's billboard standards appear to be more lenient than most adjoining counties. And lastly, the possibility of allowing adjoining residents to agree to waive the standards to allow a billboard to be constructed closer to their home if they were amenable with that. The Lee County Planning Board voted 4-0 with one abstention that the proposed text amendment does not align with the long-range plan. However, the Planning Board members did vote 4-1, and that is, I made a typo. It says 5-0 in your packet, but I apologize. It was actually 4-1 to recommend the approval of the following text amendments. And I'm sorry, sir, if you could flip to the next slide. Next one, yes, that one works actually. Yep. So the planning board devised kind of an add-on or a modification of what Mr. Stansel had proposed. They voted to keep the restriction to highway commercial, light industrial, and heavy industrial for 11.9.2.2, where Commissioner Reeve, you mentioned the distance between billboards and houses or residential property. The planning board recommended a 500-foot distance, but a distance between the billboard and the dwelling unit itself, not the property. The property would be interpreted by staff as like the corner of the yard, not the actual house. Does that make sense? That important distinction there? So a 500-foot distance between any residential dwelling and a new billboard. However, and this is quoting from what the planning board recommended, however, a sign may be allowed within 500 feet from any residential dwelling if the applicant can secure a waiver in written form from all adjacent property owners within 500 feet of the proposed outdoor advertising sign. The waiver shall state that the property owner is aware of the proposed sign and agrees that the sign can be located within a given proximity from their dwelling. This waiver shall be signed and notarized by all applicable owners of adjacent and nearby properties. And I believe that was inspired by, borrowed from, I believe Harnett County has a provision similar to that. One other modification the planning board recommended for 11.9.2.3, the minimum distance between any two outdoor advertising signs shall be 1,000 linear feet, quote, which shall be measured along the same right-of-way, not route, since they're typically along public rights-of-way. For 11.9.2.4, outdoor advertising signs with electronic or digital changeable copy shall be separated by a minimum of 2 miles as measured along the same right-of-way. 11.9.2.5, changeable copy, in parentheses, digital displays, shall be permitted on new outdoor advertising signs so long as these signs utilize light mitigation technology that restricts light to a narrowed viewing cone of projection and limits light output beyond the intended audience of the sign, commonly known as light direct technology. If you remember from what the applicant proposed, there was a blurb in there about very specific language endorsing the Sightline Light Direct. The planning board wanted that to be less brand specific so that it wouldn't be the proposed text amendment or the text wouldn't limit it to that one type of technology. So it was kind of just clarified and made intentionally more vague to apply to other technologies out there for light mitigation. And then lastly, all new outdoor advertising signs must be of steel monopole design. And then, sir, if you will flip to the last slide there. So you have at least 3 options before you. You could vote to deny the text amendment, and that would keep the standards the same as they currently are. You could vote to approve Mr. Stansel's original proposal. That's the set of language right in the middle. And then there is the third option that the planning board recommended that you could vote to approve as well. Or, of course, you could vote to approve a variation or combination of any of that if you would like. And I will stop there for questions. I know that was a lot of information.
Questions for Thomas? Commissioner Martin?
Thank you for all that work. I can, reading through all the notes, I was impressed.
I hope it made
by-
sense.
Yeah, it did, and again, appreciate all the effort you put into this. I don't have any questions. I do have I'd like to request that I'd like to put a motion forth, actually. Is this an appropriate time to do that, or should we wait until after
You can do
questions?
it anytime you like.
I'll do it right now, thank you. I'd like to put a motion forth to table this. There's a lot of things that have come to my attention with this in the last couple of weeks. I have a billboard that was erected in the last couple of years on 1 North, and I used to have a lovely rural view outside of my home, and now I sit in my living room and I see a digital billboard. And I want to prevent that from happening to others. So I'd like to have some time to look over this and the impact that it'll have, not only on visual blight, but also on property values and maintaining the character of Lee County.
Okay, we have a motion to table, but in fairness, we'll allow questions of Thomas. Commissioner Levick?
Thank you for your work again, Thomas. One of the questions I have, I know you put several other counties had more stringent in certain areas. In the one area of getting written permission where we're wanting it in the 500 feet, did those other counties require that also?
So only, to my knowledge, the extent of my research, only one county had a provision like that, and that was Harnett County. I called my counterpart, I cannot remember her name now, but I called my counterpart and asked her, hey, how does that work? Why is that there? She did not know. She had been there about 5 years. She had had one applicant request such a thing, and when they had to go get when they were required then to go get the signatures for the adjoining property owners, they never heard from that person again. One could deduce that they probably were told no at least once, and that kind of would make everything fall apart. It was to the point where they really didn't even have a form yet, because they hadn't had a need to create a form like, for the waiver, which I would do if this was approved. But yes, only one county has that, and one county, to my knowledge, has not really had any practical experience with it so far.
Have we had any problems with that prior to this?
Not problems with a waiver, because we don't have something like that.
Right.
I know that we have had a couple of folks request the construction of new billboards, and they were not able to do that because of the current standards in place.
Okay. And one last question on the lighting technology, is that proprietary to the company that was helping us with this, or?
I would hazard a guess that yes, but I will defer to Mr. Warren Stansel or Mr. David Stuckey, his attorney, if you would like I don't know for sure, I'm not an expert on that. That's why I think the planning board wanted that language to be a little more vague and non-specific. So it would be like, you can't require Kleenex, you could require tissues, that kind of thing. So,
Brand names.
yes, exactly,
Okay, thank you.
of course.
Commissioner Connect?
Is the city also going to review these changes you made?
So I have not received any guidance from Mayor Salmon or Chairman Britton. The city currently prohibits new billboards. They do have a provision, I believe it was state mandated, a provision to upgrade existing non-digital billboards to become digital if they want. The city would vote, if you voted to change any of this text, it would have to go to the other jurisdictions as well, because this is a unified development ordinance, but their vote would not really impact yours. But to answer your question, yes, they would vote on it, but it wouldn't change anything for their jurisdiction.
I know we do some things differently, but, I mean, we try to stay unified to some degree, right? As
Yes,
best
sir.
we can to make things simple. So I don't know if you were going to present this to them and see what their thoughts were.
Sure, if you vote to change anything, then yes, I would have to, but they would be voting just, yes, this is fine for what Lee County wants. Again, Mr. Stansel and Mr. Stuckey did come before the Joint Planning Commission. I have not received any instructions from Mayor Salmon or Chairman Britton to move forward with this, so I don't know what the appetite is for the city of Sanford to change their billboard standards. So,
Thank you.
Commissioner Vorbeck.
I noticed on, Randolph County was the only one who actually listed zoning districts. Did you run into that in your research, that other counties, I know that you did list some of
Sure.
them, but I guess only reason why it kind of draws my attention is we've listed zoning districts and they have, but none of the other, I'm not seeing any other
let me see.
counties. So my question to that is like what we voted on earlier, where we moved one of the zonings to light industrial. I would be interested if the planning department could possibly, if we're going through the motion of tabling, are you able to pull how many changes of zonings have occurred with that light industrial? Because that's what I'm just kind of
Sure.
trying to picture where some of these might now be newly popped up zonings.
It's possible, so yes, I think we would just have the updated zoning map that we could provide to you or present to you that would have a color-coded, it would show all the highway commercial, all of the light industrial, all the heavy industrial, and
Okay.
where potentially billboards could go.
Because prior to us changing the zoning just a few minutes ago, that would not have been a viable option under this zoning district. And now that it's changed, it is. And
Sure.
again,
Potentially, yeah, you'd have to take into
Right.
consideration
all the
where the other
other
billboard
rules,
would
yes.
be if there
Okay.
was an existing
But
one.
I'm curious
yes.
if there's other little spots like that we just haven't seen, that may be something to even also look into. Is the zoning districts correct now?
Sure. I will confer with GIS and see what we can come up with.
Okay. My other question on the waiver, how long would the waiver stand for? Question, part two of that. If the land would change ownership, does the waiver have to be redone, or is it fall within it? I mean, is this like a utility line? Is this
That's the trick.
Sure, yeah.
So, I've talked to planning staff about that, and I do think that those are all good questions that we don't have answers to, which is one of the reasons why I think that the waiver is potentially problematic. Because you're right, like if you have a homeowner now who gives the waiver, then they sell before a billboard's built, all of a sudden, you would have to rely, whose responsibility is it the homeowner? Because it's not going to be found in a title search by way of, an attorney for the new homeowner. And then what does that look like? Because, you may have now a new homeowner that's going to call planning when the billboard starts to be built and say, hey, why didn't I know about this? Whose responsibility is that to let them know? So yes, I agree that those questions bring up the issue that could be in fact problematic.
okay? Did the planning board have a suggestion on even moving any of these, so the 11922 and 11923, those feet even higher, further out? Did they discuss that, or they were comfortable with the current, or what that was, not the current, I know they moved 100 to
Sure.
500.
Yeah. I don't want to speak for them, but they did not, that was not a topic of discussion.
Okay.
So I would deduce that they were not uncomfortable with it.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes, sir, I think you answered part of it, but give me the layman's term as to why we're making this change and how, one, the current 11.9.22 at 100, how is it 500? Give me the layman's term, the difference in the two.
Sure. Well, I can defer to Mr. Warren Stansel. This is not a staff-initiated text amendment. This would be a developer, for lack of a better term, a billboard company initiated. So I can defer to them if you'd like.
That's fine.
They would give the why, not
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I want to know why it came up, why it's,
Hey there, my name is Warren Stansel, and I'm with Interstate Outdoor. Mr. Reeves, to answer your question, so currently in your ordinance, you have to be 100 feet to away from a residential zoning
Right.
district. So the 500 feet would be to an actual structure. So instead of being 100 feet from the zone, now you're 500 feet from the actual use. Does-
Okay.
Does that help?
If it does what I think it does, it seems to make it better.
Well, it addresses the use and not just the zone. So you can have a piece of property that's zoned like residential, agricultural, and not have a house on it, but you could have a house on a piece of property that's zoned residential, and you could still get 100 feet from the zone. So it's actually, I think, better.
I thought that's what it said.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, thank you.
yes, sir. Did y'all want me to address any of the other questions or concerns? You may come back.
Let me get with Commissioner Sharp and then.
Yeah, well, everybody has good questions, but
Mr. Stanzel.
My first thing is, if we're going to table it, are we tabling it for the next meeting, or, I mean, you know, some people, they're trying to do business, and, I mean, I don't want to hold them up from business if there's no need to do that, but I'm sure that these signs cost a lot of money. Can you estimate about what one of those things?
So if you were to have to construct a new, say, back-to-back digital billboard, you're looking at about $300,000.
Okay.
And that's assuming that you don't have to do any site work or utility work.
So I've rode around town, and I've only seen two of these, and somebody correct me if there's more than two, at the radio station, at Highway 87, across from the liquor store.
There is one more that I have that is just south of the intersection of 15501 and US 1, and I think another company has one in the town of Sanford.
Okay. Yeah.
And so my intent with this is not to have a proliferation of digital billboards. It was actually, my intent was to try to actually limit digital billboards in your county, because right now you could technically, if you had zoning that would work and you could meet the other requirements, you could have digital billboards every 1,000 feet going down US 1. So my intent was to try to make it stricter so that there would not be a lot of digital billboards everywhere, because it's just, I don't think, good for the community. And that was my intent with some of the other requirements I put in there as well, to just try to clean it up, make it better for everybody. I know Ms. Martin, what she was speaking about, I think the sightline technology would address, you know, your issue from your house. Also, the 1,000-foot spacing that we spoke about could move it farther north to get it further away from houses. So that's why I put that in there. I will say I don't have a particular, like, hey, if this gets approved, I'm going to go here and do something. These are just standards that I thought would be better for everybody. And I think somebody had said something about digital being mandated by the state. Digital is not mandated by the state. The state does not tell you, hey, you have to allow digital billboards. And as far as the waiver, for me, in my mind, you know, a zoning, how long is a zoning permit good for, Tom? 6 months?
For new construction, it'd be 1 year.
Okay, so for 1 year. So after the 1 year, if you hadn't constructed the sign, you would have to go through the whole process again to get waivers signed by current landowners. So I do see, you know, where there could be some type of window in there, but I know for me, whenever I get a permit, we order structures and we go build. So I can see where you could see that would be an issue, but I really don't think that would be as big of an issue as some people could think it could be. Any other questions, concerns?
Any questions from Mr. Stansel? Seeing there's,
Do you have a video that would demonstrate what you're talking about?
I don't with us tonight. We played one at the last public hearing, but I'm sorry we didn't bring it again tonight.
All right.
we currently have a motion to table. Any further discussion?
Could I just add one quick thing? I'm sorry. I just
Yes,
want to
sir.
say your staff has been excellent to work with. We have billboards in about 25 counties in North Carolina, and they have been the best staff I've ever worked with.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. That's what we pay them to do.
Yeah. They do a good job for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Stansel.
That was a good move.
Again, we have a motion to table. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Moving on.
Thank you so much. If I may, any instructions for staff for the tabling, or is this going to be, like, is there anything you need me to do for you other than looking at the county map for recent rezonings? But if you have any specific instructions for me, I'm all ears, happy to help.
Yeah, I'd like to hear staff opinion on it. Not tonight, I mean, when we come back.
So I don't know if I'm qualified, because I don't know, I mean, I'm a citizen, I do live here, so I have like personal opinions, but like professional opinions, I will enforce whatever rules you decide.
I agree with that, but bring back whatever you can find from other citizens as well.
Sure, certainly.
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Next item on the agenda is new business, a major subdivision preliminary plat, and okay, Mr. O'Quinn, please introduce yourself.
My name is Tanner O'Quinn. I am a planner too here under Thomas's guidance, and I agree. He is great staff to work for, best I've worked for. So I'm here today to talk to you about Lee County Development LLC and their proposal of a 45-lot major subdivision of the property currently known as 39 McMillan Lane, across from the intersection of US 1 and Oakleaf Road. The parcel is 75.86 acres and is zoned residential agricultural. The subdivision would be for single-family detached homes and would be serviced by public water and private septic systems. There's also a proposed emergency access road, which is intended to be privately maintained through the HOA and is in place in lieu of a second traditional way in and out of the subdivision. The applicant has applied for a subdivision exception for this, and that is found in your packet on page 74. The current zoning classification of residential agricultural includes minimum standards, including a 100-foot lot width, 40,000 square foot lot size, 30-foot front and rear setbacks, and 15-foot side setbacks. The proposed location is surrounded by adjacent properties that are also zoned residential agricultural. The largest proposed lot is Lot 36 at 65,128 square feet, and the smallest proposed lot is Lot 28 at 40,126 square feet. A licensed soil scientist has evaluated the property to determine soil suitability for individual septic tanks. Development on these lots would require individual private septic systems that must be approved by the Lee County Environmental Health Department or a licensed soil scientist prior to the construction of the individual homes. The water source for this project will be from the public water main along Sugar Maple Road. Sugar Maple Road is an NCDOT-maintained public roadway which carries a total right-of-way width of 375 feet in conjunction with the right-of-way width of US 1. The developer must obtain a driveway permit from NCDOT and construct the new internal roads to NCDOT standards to be accepted for public maintenance. The closest, most applicable average annual daily traffic count for this area is from a 2020 NCDOT count at the intersection of Lark Lane and US 1, approximately 2 miles north of the subject property, and that count recorded 13,000 vehicles per day. On December 16th, the Planning Board met to discuss the project and unanimously voted to recommend the proposed subdivision to the Commissioners, and the Planning Board also unanimously voted to recommend the subdivision exception for the second way in and out of the subdivision with the gravel emergency access road in lieu also be approved.
Questions from Mr. O'Quinn? Commissioner Martin?
is in regard to the Plan Sanley place type. I know in the past, we'll often hear this is, this falls within Plan Sanley and this does not, and I don't hear anything on Plan Sanley in regard to this development. Can you speak to that?
Sure. This subdivision would be is suitable for by right zoning. So there's no change to the zoning, and the lot size and dimensional standards already meet the requirements for that existing zoning district.
So falling within that Plan Sanley. Thank you. No more questions.
Commissioner Lovick.
So you hit some of the points I was going to ask, but the minimum lot size is already zoned that area. So one of the reasons we're having to bring this up is because it's considered a subdivision and the setbacks is the difference. Am I right on that?
The setbacks that they are proposing meet our current minimum setbacks for this existing zoning district. So it's no different than what is already existing in this zoning district.
All right, no further questions, thank you.
Commissioner Connect.
I think that's why there's not a public hearing, correct? Because it
Correct.
fits all
Because it's
the
not
zoning,
changing.
the only things. No, thank you.
Commissioner Vorbeck.
Just to remind myself, there's no requirement for sidewalks or anything along when it comes to this, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Nope, that was the only question. That was it.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I apologize. I spoke down.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yeah, can you tell me exactly where you're located?
It is 2 miles south of the intersection of Tramway Road and Center Church Road, approximately.
Right past Quail Ridge Golf Course on down.
You can pass Quail Ridge.
Quail Ridge
Okay.
Golf Course on past.
I got you. Thank you.
Yeah, the map is so exploded, you got to really kind of figure out where exactly does this fit? Usually we have a smaller map that allows us the big picture where, in relationship to where it lies, but
Is there like a mobile home part there, small there, you know?
Nearby.
Nearby, okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting zoomed in there, thank you.
any other questions, Commissioner Reeves?
No, sir.
Commissioner Sharp?
No questions, thank you.
Okay.
I have one more, sorry.
Yes,
Now, would there
please.
be a turn lane that would come in from US 1? Because I'm looking on here, I was trying to figure out where the entrance and exit, or I'm showing 2 entrance exits.
I think it's a
And then-
DOT thing.
So NCDOT is not requiring any improvements for the subdivision.
Okay.
And the access is coming off of Sugar Maple Road, which is the access road that runs parallel to US 1.
Oh, I'm seeing that now.
It's actually the old US one.
Okay. All right, I'm seeing, I was trying to figure out how people were gonna go from 55 to 0. Okay, they're not. Thank you.
No further questions. Do I have a motion to,
So moved.
motion's been made to approve the major subdivision preliminary plat request for McMillan Lane subdivision. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. O'Quinn, you did well.
Oh, thank you for your
Where did you
patience.
come from, sir, by the way?
I come from Topsail Island area.
Oh, you moved in.
Yes, sir.
Avoid the rising oceans, good.
The high tide.
Yes,
High
sir.
tide. High tide. High tide. Have you seen that commercial?
Okay, next item on the agenda is the 2024 Employee Survey Summary.
Figure out how you were.
Mr. Ben McCreary.
Good evening. I'm excited to bring you all tonight just a quick summary of our recent employee survey that we did. We conducted the employee survey at the end of September and the beginning of October, and this was now our second annual survey that we completed, with the first survey being done I guess not last January, 2 Januaries ago now, in January 2023. We had a slightly lesser response rate this year. We're still trying to figure out exactly why that was, but we still got good response from this one, with almost 2/3 of our employees responding. So first off, I'll start off with our first key finding of how our employees rated their compensation. As you can see, there was a massive jump in satisfaction regarding compensation. In January 2023, it was at a very low 33%. So only 1/3 of our employees rated that they were even satisfied with their compensation. And the Board of Commissioners did respond to that with there's been now 2 budgets that have been passed since that, where you all did approve the pay plan and COLAs, and then subsequently pay plan adjustments. And as you can see in this most recent one, 68%, over 2/3 of our employees rated that they were satisfied with their compensation. So that's a really great finding, and it proves to show that your all's commitment to our employees' pay has been felt. The second key finding came with job satisfaction. To go along with that, our employees have been very satisfied with the work that they do. 89% say they are very loyal. 87% plan to stay with Lee County. And in 2023, 24% of our employees said that they had considered leaving in the last 6 months. And in this one, only 19% said that. So that is an improvement. And then 87% really felt like they were satisfied with the impact of their work. And that was felt throughout the free responses and throughout other questions, that our employees feel like they are truly doing very impactful work for Lee County. The third key finding was that overall, while we still had very positive results, they were slightly less strong positive. The questions are done on a Likert scale from strong positive to strong negative. And there was a shift away from strong positive to positive responses. So it was still overall a positive response, but less strong. It's not a very huge deal, but it's something that we're going to keep our eye on to make sure there's no trends that are happening. So that is all I have, just a few short key findings. The full employee survey report is in your agenda. It has all the full results, and I'd be happy to take any questions that you have.
Questions for Ben? Commissioner Sharp?
Well, now that we have all these good findings, what are we going to do with them?
We are working to implement them, and hopefully in our strategic plan updates, things like that, and as we move into the new budget, taking some suggestions that some employees had, possibly in the line with benefits and the such, how we can continue to improve for our employees.
Thank you.
Commissioner Reeves?
He's expecting you to find a way to fulfill them in the next 4 years. No, I'm good, thank you.
Commissioner Vorbeck?
I don't really have any questions. I just wanted to kind of highlight, when I was looking through them, the 2 things that kind of stuck out to me on the organizational level on kind of action items is where we started trending from neutral to strongly disagree, and it was the people who make improvement decisions on the organization know what is going on at my level, and when decisions are made, the people affected are rarely asked for their ideas and input. So I just think that goes, making sure that communication is at the top tier. And are these going back to department heads? I can't remember that process on, I mean, I know they're anonymous, but are some of this information being shared with department heads so that they can?
Yes, and we didn't split it out necessarily at the department level this year, because there were not necessarily complaints, but worries that it was not being anonymous enough, because a lot of our departments may only have 4 or 5 people. So we really kept it at the department, or at the whole level, but we're definitely going to continue to implement that was a common theme, was communication issues. So we're going to continue to develop new strategies to try to target that. And hopefully the more surveys that we do, and the more that we tell that we implemented things from this survey, they'll begin to trust a little bit more that their voices are being heard.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Connect?
I'm good, thank you.
Commissioner Lovick?
No questions, but I appreciate that what the staff's doing and what we're doing as a county to get what our employees think. I appreciate that very much, and getting the feedback and doing the things that we can do to make it better. Thank you.
Commissioner Martin?
No comments.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Appreciate the effort, appreciate the work. Moving on to the next item on the agenda is the manager's report, November 2024 monthly financial report. Candace Seisman.
Good
Happy New
evening.
Year.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Happy New Year. I
Happy
haven't
New
seen you
Year.
since last year.
I
I'm
know.
sorry. It's been a long time.
The November 2024 monthly financial report was included in your agenda for your review. The ad valorem tax collections as of the end of November were at 48.32% of the adopted budget. So the target for expenditures at this point in the fiscal year would be 41.66%. Some departments appear to be over that target. That is due to the inclusion of encumbrances, but if you remove those encumbrances, only a couple departments remain over this target, and that is due to the annual payment of agreements in advance.
Questions for Candace? Commissioner Martin?
No questions.
Commissioner Levick?
No questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Connect?
Thank you.
Commissioner Vorbeck?
No, sir.
Commissioner Reeves?
No.
Commissioner Sharp?
None, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know this is under manager's report, but would this be appropriate for the manager to address the school classified staff pay issues that we are?
So you have to, I can generally
In a general?
address it, yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. As far as
And
class,
this is for the ladies that have sat through the meeting.
for classified staffing or even any staffing in schools, we are only partially responsible for that. It is not 100% on us. It is up to the school board to decide how to use the funds that come in from the state and from the county and how they disperse that. Most positions, not all, but most positions there are allotments that are funded by the state. And then if there are extra people needed, such as teachers, are allotted based on class size and the enrollment. They don't look at how the different schools, you get an overall number of teachers. And then so if you don't have enough to fill all your classrooms, then the local dollars usually have to pick up those teachers. Teachers' assistants are a little bit different. The funding formula, from my understanding of the funding book, was that they receive so many, it's twofold. It's based on an average salary, which the way I would read that is an average statewide salary for teacher assistants, and then that times a number of teacher assistant slots based on class size and the different grades. That money comes in. The schools then can decide what they pay. They don't have to pay that average salary for a teacher assistant. They can pay them all at a lower salary and to have more than the state requires. It's a combination thing. Outside of that, over the years, they have used county funds, in my understanding, to help fund teacher assistants whenever the state cut back on how many they were allowing. But again, it is the school board's responsibility to determine how their budget is used and how that funding is happening. So my take from that is this board has not been responsible for the fact that the schools have not chosen to give raises over those years. So we are just a funding source, and yes, they did come and ask for that funding this past year, and this board chose not to fully fund it for varying reasons and all. So is that sufficient, Chairman? Or is there other specific questions?
Thank you. Any questions of the manager regarding the issue of classified school staff? Commissioner Martin?
No questions.
Commissioner Levick?
No questions, but thank you for addressing that.
Commissioner Connect?
It's complicated. Thank you.
It's complicated. Thank you. Commissioner Vorbeck?
Just a kind of point of clarification, there was a certain amount that we did provide, or we did approve.
We did a large increase in the current expense funding this year.
Which was the one, I'm going to hopefully be correct on my numbers, but like 1.3
Roughly, I didn't bring a budget with
Roughly
me
around
tonight.
1.3, and then roughly 700,000 went to capital. It's like 680.
Those are close numbers,
Right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so there was 1.3 that did go up to that. So I'm trying to give you a point of numbers, because I know that they're saying it wasn't fully funded. So there was money that did go to it. So now I'm capitalizing on what Ms. Minter said, was we dispersed that amount out. It's how the school board chose to then spend the money. We can't dictate that.
Understood.
Yeah.
Am I correct in thinking that you had said a moment ago that you had chosen this board had chosen not to fund in the past? It is partially, okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay, then I misheard you.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so, and I understand how that works. I'm suggesting that it's been,
I was saying all that to let you know that there was $1.3 million that was provided.
Right.
They chose to only spend roughly 800,000 of it. So if we fully funded whatever their request is, we still can't guarantee to you that it will go to you. That's all, that was the only point I was trying to make, is they did have a 1.3 bucket, and they chose to not use all 1.3 bucket to put that pay scale in.
right,
So-
this is in the past. Is this regarding the new pay scale?
The
Yeah,
one,
okay.
yes, the one that you came to speak on is the only one I'm speaking on right now.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
because it's really that's the big, that's the one that you came to speak on, and that's the one I'm speaking on. So moving
Ms.
forward, I'm just kind of that was kind of the point I was trying to at least let you know.
I just wanted to make sure that I was
Yeah.
understanding and hearing everyone correctly
Yeah.
for what they were saying.
All right, I don't want to cut you off. This wasn't a discussion back and forth, but
Apologize.
hold fast. I still have two commissioners I have to ask questions. Commissioner Reeves, questions of the manager regarding classified staff.
Have you asked your own board?
Yes.
Yeah, you were there.
And what was their response?
They heard.
Apologize.
And I heard you, but I didn't hear you. What did they say?
Well, I have that paper that they came around. They approved raises of something it was maybe a quarter of what it was that we were officially asking, and not even that for everyone. And it's supposed to be dependent upon how long you were there, or how long you've been there. 37 cents essentially is what my raise would be, which I won't get until February. And it will be 4 years, from what I understand, if I'm correct, before we see the full raise implemented. But on that paper, it said that this is only if it is fully funded, and the suggestion was that there would require funding from another source, and there are 3 sources, so it's going to be you, school board, and locally, obviously, the 2 boards, and then federally.
I'm sorry, did I hear you say 37 cents?
Yes, that is my raise, which I will not be receiving until February. We understand that, that's how that works, but at the same time, that was a larger raise than one of my coworkers got, who has been working there for 30 years. And she told me 15 cents. So please understand why I'm here. I'm not just trying to be difficult, but for someone who, and I've only been doing this a year, but I have a great deal of respect for the people that I work with that have been there every day, working hard, giving their lives, their whole lifetime to do this job, and they're barely making enough to get by. So, this is where it is, and that's why I'm here. So, I feel like if, how would you feel if you were offered a raise after 16 years and that raise is 15 cents?
And Commissioner Sharp, question for
I'll
the
just say,
manager.
as Commissioner Connect said, it is complicated. And this is for Ms. Mentor. It is something we're going to continue looking at. I mean, if something changes, we'll make changes, but it is complicated, and, we hear you, and we're trying to work on it.
That's why I'm here, is just to be heard, just representing other people that deserve so much more, honestly, than what's been able to be scrapped together. And I understand it's complicated. I understand it's not just on one entity, but passing back and forth, well, it's the school board, it's the county commissioners, it's the state. We're just trying to make ends meet.
I want to make this clear, and I know it was mentioned. We do not micromanage the school board how they spend their money.
Yeah.
We provide them based on their request, and how they disperse it is their business. Now, we can be specific when it comes to bleachers, school improvements, new air conditioners, or things like that. That's on the capital side. But I want to share with you something. I don't know if you know this or not. I don't believe the Sanford Herald printed it, but there was a news release. I attended the North Carolina Association County Commissions Legislative Goals Conference the very Thursday right after you all went before the school board. It opened up my eyes. But that being said, one of the proposals for under education at the state level as a goal was to improve teacher training, teacher pay. Well, I actually made a motion that Thursday night that had to go before a special panel to review, to bring it before the whole body that Friday morning. Well, it happened. They approved it. We had some discussion, and instead of having something separate for classified staff and something separate for school teachers, we came up with the following goal. Support legislation promoting teacher and classified school personnel recruitment and retention, including state funding for increased salaries. Because it really is the state by the Constitution that's responsible to fund the employees within the school districts. The concluding act of each delegate for that conference was to place their top 5 priorities. Now, if I'm correct, there were 69 counties represented. Each one was to place their top 5 goals for the association to prioritize for this coming legislative year. And this legislative goal is number 1. So I want you to know that at the state level, you're not alone. All our counties are on board with the fact that, and I'll be honest with you, you all brought it to my attention. I was able to push it forward at the conference. So we generated a goal that turned out to be number 1 for the year. So we'll be pressing both our legislative representatives, Senator Bergen and Representative Sauls, as well as the rest of the counties will be doing the same. So I just want you to know that you were heard. We're moving forward as efficiently as we can. But again, going back to the fact that when we provide the school board money,
It is up to them.
they're the ones that disperse it.
Right.
We're not allowed to micromanage.
Right. And thank you. I understand it, sometimes the mechanics of what's going on, everything that we're not able to be privy to. I recognize, there's a lot that's going on behind the scenes to get this into motion, and I do appreciate that. And in the meantime, I just want to be able to talk to my coworkers and give them some kind of hope, that will be heard. Thank you.
We thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
without further ado, I do have commissioner comments, and we will start with Commissioner Sharp.
It's cold, stay warm. That's all I got tonight.
Commissioner Reeves.
He's right. I had a brain freeze coming in, so. But I do think that this issue seems to be getting out of hand. It really needs to be worked out. There are too many people misunderstanding our role after allocating the funding, and that needs to be corrected. Thank you.
Commissioner Vorbeck.
I just wanted to thank you both for coming up here and continue the discussion, because communication is going to help clear up a lot of things, going to Commissioner Reeves' comment, and letting your colleagues know that more than happy to answer any questions that come up, and doing the best that we can, because ultimately us trying to work together and move forward in the process is going to be the best solution out there. And then, yeah, everyone just, cross your fingers for snow. Just kidding. Not really. Florida babies hoping for snow. But no, stay safe. It's supposed to get pretty rough this weekend, so.
Friday night after 5, gone by Monday morning at 8.
Yep. Happy New Year.
Commissioner Connect.
Hope everybody has a prosperous and healthy new year. Thank you.
Commissioner Loving.
Yes, thank you, like I say, for your comments coming up, and keeping those avenues open, and be reassured we're trying to do our best. I promise you, as commissioners on our side, as stated by our survey that you saw through the county part of how we're trying to help our county employees, and those numbers are up. I'm glad to see that. Thank you for Ms. Minner for clearing up some of those. Hopefully it makes it a little more crystal clear on that. Hope everybody had a great Christmas break and New Year's, and I'm excited for Lee County and what we're going to accomplish in 2025. Thank you.
Commissioner Martin.
Another thank you for coming. It was good to hear. It's always good to hear from individuals, and you communicated, in a direct and unemotional way that was, you really shared with us the heart of what you're feeling. I agree with those around the table. It is complex, and we are actively working to come to a solution for everyone. And Happy New Year.
And I would like to add Happy New Year to everyone. Hopefully we'll have a prosperous and beneficial new year for all. Just to reiterate the point that we appreciate the staff. We appreciate our employees. We appreciate the work you do. We look forward to a fantastic year as we have all sorts of fun things happening. But I do want to read a letter that we just received from the North Carolina Department of Commerce, the Rural Economic Development, dated December 16th, to the Honorable Kirk D. Smith Chair, Lee County Board of Commissioners. Dear Chairman Smith, it is my pleasure to officially notify you that Lee County has been awarded $950,000 in Community Development Block Grant funds for the Neighborhood Revitalization Program. I commend you for your vision and your commitment to building stronger and more resilient neighborhoods in your community. Please note that under the CDBG program regulations, project funds may not be obligated or spent until certain grant conditions are met with the Rural Economic Development Division, which administers the CDBG grant program. The CDBG staff will contact you about these conditions and provide guidance to help you with your implementation of this grant. Congratulations on your CDBG NR award. We look forward to working with you and local leadership and staff. Should you have any questions regarding this grant, please contact John Brooks, Rural Economic Development Division, at the johnbrooks@commercenc.gov. And I will talk to Ms. Kennedy tomorrow at the City Council meeting to let her know we got this wonderful award. So without further ado, again, thank you, staff. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion's been made to adjourn. Any further discussion? We are now adjourned. Thank you very much. Please drive safely, wear your seatbelts, and no speeding.
Extra loud. That was extra loud.
Have a good night.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go home. Good night, sweetheart. Well,